Hey, this is Jazz, and we are talking today about a quick exercise so that you can develop your clairaudience. So first of all, welcome to this group. This is the Intuition for Empowered Living group. This is the place to be if you want to work on your intuition in a way that's really grounded and that's going to serve you in creating the life and the business you love without burning out. In the soul leadership method, we recognize that our intuition is a key component, it's a primary component of joyful living. It's not something that we do on the side as a woo woo thing, that weird thing that happens to us. It's something that we master, it's something that we work with every day. It's something that becomes so natural that it's just like breathing. The intuition can come on or off at our request because we know how to use it properly. So, one of the best ways to start mastering our intuition is to play, because spirit loves that light energy of play. When you start working on your intuition and you make it hard on yourself and you make it difficult and you think that the only way that you can really develop your intuition or your psychic skills is by being really hard on yourself, having really rigid frameworks, then you know, you're kind of blocking your own self. You're in your ego. Your ego is making this really difficult for you. And it comes from that feeling of, I'm not good enough, so I have to do this. I have to work really hard on it. Whereas when you work on spirit, with spirit, and you bring play into it and joyful and experience and like you're going on an adventure and, oh, I wonder what I'm going to discover now, you have greater chances of really connecting with your true intuition and master it so that your intuition works for you when you're ready. Because a lot of people are afraid of their intuition, right? They're afraid that if they open up their intuition, things that go bump in the night are going to tickle their toes or do some other weird things at night, and that is not the case. You're in charge of your intuition. Your intuition is your tool, your primary tool, so you're in charge. So you have to take responsibility for your intuition. So that's a preamble. Are you ready to play with your with your intuition? Excuse me. We are working today not on the throat, but I wonder what that is about. Excuse me, I will have a little bit like my mug. Wow. So, we're talking about not the throat, but clairaudience. And you know what? What's kind of interesting is that the throat is actually connected to clairaudience. The throat, like when you go to the doctor, is like ear, nose, and throat are connected. Well, your throat chakra is actually connected to your ability to hear and listen, your intuition. So there's a lot of unblocking to be done for you to truly listen to your intuition. Now, for some people, you might think that being clairaudient, because clairaudient is your ability to hear voices, right? So you might think that you're always hearing voices, always hearing whispers, always hearing like dead people. I hear dead people. It's not just that. So don't be all freaked out about it if you're new to clairaudience. Yes, at times you can hear some disembodied voices. Like if you viewed my video from last Friday, from when I received the message to go to Brazil, I heard clearly, Jazz, you're going to Brazil, it's time. So that's like a really short, sweet message that I heard clear as day. It was loud and there was no one in the room. Certainly no one I know would tell me to go to Brazil, because it was like it was not on the radar at all, right? So yes, at times you can hear those clear messages. Other times, however, clairaudience shows up for you in terms of hearing your message through other people's conversations, because other people can be messengers for you and they don't even know it. Also, you can hear it like when you turn on the radio and the song has a message for you. But you need to remember that it's not just any song on the radio, it's not just any conversation, and you can't just like be obsessed about it, just listening to everything. And is that a message for me? Is that a message for me? Is that a message for me? You'll just drive yourself nuts doing that. The way that this type of clairaudience works is that, let's say that you have a question on your mind. Let's say that there's an issue in your life. Is it perhaps you want to know how to heal your relationships? No, month of February, I've had a lot of questions about relationships. So let's say that you're holding in your heart this question of, what can I do to move my relationship, or to feel more love, or to be more, to open my heart to true relationships, to true friendships? Let's say that that's on your mind, that's on your heart. And you kind of just let that simmer. You offer that up to spirit, to God, to goddess. You let that simmer. And then, I don't know, maybe if you're a big town, you're on the bus and you hear someone's conversation and it kind of hits you like, yeah, that's something that I can do, right? So it's not just kind of any conversation. So you're looking for the message and that feeling that you have inside, like, oh, this resonates as truth for me. I can also implement that today. The other thing you can do, and this is your key exercise for today that I invite you to practice, is to hold that question in your mind. And then you can turn on the radio and see what the message is on the first song that plays. For a lot of people, this happens when they're thinking of someone who passed away. And then on the radio, there's their favorite song. It happens often. Coincidence, synchronicity, message from the other side as well. So play with that. See where you can develop your clairaudience, hearing messages. So let me know for you if you hear messages that are like those clear disembodied voices with a clear step-by-step, you're doing this, right? And remember, when it's your spirit guides, your higher self that's speaking, the message is going to be clear, concise, precise. It's not going to put any butter on it, right? It's not going to coddle you. It's going to say, this is your next step, go do it. That's a clear message from spirit. Because otherwise it's the ego that's kind of pumping you up. Or so let me know if that's the way that you receive messages, or if you receive messages through other people's conversations, like you just overhear something and it really resonates with you. It's like an answer to your prayer. Or if you heard a message through the radio, or maybe like me, you don't listen to the radio that much. So do like an iPod shuffle and seeing what message can pop up for you there. So the way to do this, again, you hold the question, because you're not just receiving any type of information. When you develop your intuition, you want to have answers to your questions, not just random stuff all the time. It's going to drive you nuts. So you have to be precise yourself, not just your guides. You have to be precise with what you want to receive. So once you have that question that you want answered, you hold that, but you offer it to spirit. You kind of let that go. You don't obsess about it. And then you tune in. You're curious. You're going on an adventure. What message will I receive? Okay, so try that out. Let me know how it goes in the comments. I want to hear from you. I want to know how these exercises work for you, if they're helpful. So just send me some hearts if you want more of these. So we'll see you on Friday for, general information about who I am, what I do, and just like random thoughts about what made me who I am today. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. On Monday, it's a Q&A Monday. So if you have questions about your intuition, about the soul leadership method, about how to use your intuition in your relationships and in your business, ask me those questions. I will answer on Monday. And next Wednesday, again, the next intuition awareness mini class. And we are going to talk about, so we had the clairvoyance last week, clairaudience this week. So clairsentience is next week. So that's the ability to feel, really great for empaths. So if you have any questions about being an empath, this is the time to ask, and I will be answering in the next lives. Until then, big hug from my heart to yours. See you then. Bye for now.